Hello, folks. Uncertainty isn't the enemy. It's the invitation. Welcome back to Coaching Talk series, where we explore how leaders can integrate business, work, and life with clarity, compassion, and confidence. And today we're diving into a topic that every leader faces, but few truly master: embracing uncertainty within the workplace. Now, as the old saying goes, change is the only constant. But I like how futurist Alvin Toffler once put it. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now that quote captures the very essence of leadership today. We live in an era where technological disruption, global shifts, and cultural transformations are constant. And yet, the best leaders, the ones who truly inspire, are not those who avoid uncertainty, but those who lean into it with curiosity, courage, and grace. Hi, I'm Richard Fontanie. Let's unpack how we can do just that, both practically and emotionally, so we can lead more effectively in uncertain times. Now, the first key point is to reframe uncertainty as a space for possibility. Now, when uncertainty arises in the workplace, it's easy to feel unsettled. Think of a sudden reorganization, shifting goals, or a new technology. But what if we reframe that uncertainty into creative space? And think about it. Every innovation in history was born out of the unknown. The leaders who create a lasting impact are those who say, I don't know exactly what's coming, but I'm willing to explore it. In coaching terms, this is called staying in inquiry. Asking rather than assuming. When leaders create space for dialogue instead of quick answers, they allow fresh ideas to emerge. In life, uncertainty can also feel uncomfortable. But that's when growth happens. The promotion you didn't expect, the new role that stretches you to your capacity, and even the change that challenges your identity. These tensions are where transformation begins. Secondly, build emotional agility. Now, Harvard psychologist Susan David describes emotional agility as the ability to be with your emotions without being driven by them. When the ground shifts beneath you, emotions like fear, frustration, or confusion naturally surface. The emotionally agile leader doesn't suppress those feelings or let them run wild. They acknowledge them and then choose a mindful response. One client I coached, a senior executive in a company undergoing major digital transition, told me, I don't need to have all the answers. My team just needs to see that I am consistent in my approach. And that's the core of emotional agility. It's not about certainty, it's about steadiness in the storm. Now, in the workplace, this means being transparent about what you know and what you're still learning. At home, it means showing your loved ones that you can face change together. And thirdly, communicate with clarity and compassion. Uncertainty breeds anxiety, and the antidote to anxiety is clear, compassionate communication. When employees don't know what's happening, they fill the gaps with assumptions. And usually those assumptions are negative. Now, the best leaders communicate during times of change. They say, here's what we know. Here's what we don't know. But here's how we'll move forward together. One organization I worked with during a merger held a ritual every morning with Ask Me Anything sessions. The CEO certainly didn't have all the answers, but his openness created trust. And that trust became the agency's anchor through the turbulence. Now, whether it's in the workplace, at home, or in business, communication with compassion builds confidence. Not because it removes uncertainty, but because it makes people feel seen and supported through it. And fourthly, lead with flexibility and not control. Now, we often think leadership is about being in control, but real leadership is about being adaptable. Rigid systems break under pressure, and flexible ones bend and adjust. In uncertain times, the best leaders empower their teams to think independently, make decisions, and take ownership. In fact, they influence future leaders. Now, if you're leading a team, try this. Instead of giving fixed answers, ask powerful questions like, what options haven't we explored yet? Or, how could we turn this challenge into an advantage? In life, flexibility might mean pivoting your business strategy, revisiting your priorities, or letting go of how you thought things should be. And every time you release control, you make room for creativity and for peace. And fifthly, anchor yourself in purpose. Now, when everything feels uncertain, your purpose and values become your compass. Purpose doesn't change with the market or the season. It's the steady pulse that guides your choices. And when you're clear on why you do what you do, you can walk through uncertainty with confidence. Even the pain that you have becomes clearer. In business, this means aligning your decisions with your vision, mission, and values. In the workplace, it means helping your teams with their work and supporting them. And in life, you need to deal with what truly matters. As one leader told me about his restructuring, when we stopped paddling our canoe in different directions and focused on serving our purpose and values, we began paddling in the same direction. And that's the secret to embracing uncertainty. It's not about rowing in different directions, but about staying faithful to your why and to your values. Now, as we draw this podcast to a close, it's safe to say that uncertainty will always be part of leadership, business, and life. The question isn't how to eliminate it, but how to embrace it. And when we reframe uncertainty as opportunity, practice emotional agility, communicate with clarity, lead with flexibility, and anchor ourselves in purpose and values, we don't just survive, we actually thrive. So as you move through your own season of uncertainty, whether at work or in life, remember this: you don't need to see the whole path to take the next step. You just need to take the next step towards your goal. Now, thank you for joining me on the Coaching Talk series. In our next episode, we'll tackle another modern leadership challenge: managing digital overload and priorities. I hope you can join us. Until then, stay steady, stay curious, and keep leading from the inside out. I'm Richard Fontanie, signing off for now. See you next Wednesday, if not before. Bye now.